Hi, this is a screencast to demonstrate installation of SpringXD and running it in a simple distributed mode with default Redis transport. So this is screencast assume that you're familiar with the SpringXD architecture components, and the details of these components can be found on the GitHub website of the SpringXD project, which can be found in the GitHub project. You could search on SpringXD, GitHub, Google. It's going to be the first link. And so this wiki here has the technical architecture. If you click this thing, you can see the design. So let me just show you the SpringXD architecture that we're going to be doing in this screencast. So if you go down here, this is where the architecture is mentioned of a distributed mode, where we will be running one XD admin node and a Zookeeper server and two XD containers. So all of these three nodes will be coordinating using the Zookeeper, and the transport we will be using the Redis transport. You could use RabbitMQ if you want to for a better throughput and a better reliability. So to run SpringXD from scratch, we will be installing Java SE development kit, which is SDK 8, and we will be downloading and installing SpringXD, Redis, and then Zookeeper and all of that. So let's begin with it. So we are going to be installing Java 8, which can be found here in this oracle.com. So if you want to install, you can just say Java SDK 8 download, and it's going to be the first link. So you can click this thing. It's going to take you here. So you accept the license agreement, and then you download whatever OS you're using. So next we will be downloading SpringXD itself. So you could download it using the website SpringXD download, and then it's going to take you to the SpringXD project under, and here the latest release is milestone 1, but we are going to be using 1.1.1.0, and the download link is here, and I've downloaded already, so it's available in my download folder already. So for Zookeeper, we're going to be doing the same thing. We'll just say Zookeeper download, and it's gonna show us the releases, and here you have a download link so you can see the mirrors, and it's gonna suggest you the mirror, so use the same one that it suggests. The one we are using is 3.4.6, which is the more stable release. So let me just start the installation process. So let's start by installing Java SDK. So you run it as admin. Let's just keep the defaults. So now it's going to install JRE, so we'll just keep the default. Next. Now we'll set some environment variables that we need. For that, we'll just go to Properties, Advanced System Settings, environment variables. Let's see if Java is here. So we'll set Java_home. We'll just go where the Java is installed. Let's see, program files, Java, JDK. So copy that, just paste that here. Okay, now we'll install SpringXD. It's very simple. You just extract it using WinZip or any file extractor. Say extract. So we'll just extract it in the C drive. So this is the folder for SpringXD. We'll just rename it quickly. Something smaller like SpringXD. So now we have SpringXD, Redis, and everything is in here. Okay, so here is SpringXD folder that we've installed, and now you can see that there is a shell folder which contains the XD shell, the XD folder which contains the binaries of the container and the admin, so you could run it in single node or multiple node. So now that we have SpringXD installed, we could test it by running it in the single node. So before we could test the SpringXD, we need to set one environment variable, which is called XD home. So we're going to do it just now. So we'll say new XD home. We'll set it to ccolon. We'll set it to SpringXD and XD, which is the root folder for the core XD. Now we can just go to cmd and then cd spring XD home. Here, cd. Now we'll run from the bin. We'll run XD single node.bat file, which will start the XD in a single node environment. So now it's starting. While it starts, we can start another command line just for connecting with the XD server using XD shell. So put that here, go XD home. So the shell is in the root of the SpringXD install. So you can see shell, and the command that runs the XD shell is XD shell.batch, and you can just hit enter, and this guy is going to connect. So here you go. So XD shell is running and the XD single node is running. So our installation looks alright. So let's install the other components, which is Redis and the standalone Zookeeper. So for Redis, it's a bit tricky because Redis does not come out of the box for Windows. Another package that is available on GitHub, it installs Redis as a service in your Windows, and it installs a tiny little Redis client also. It's available on github.com/rgl/redis/downloads. So you could search it on Google with just RGL Redis, and it's gonna be probably the first link. So if I say Redis RGL GitHub downloads, so probably the first link should be, yep, the first link. So if you search that, you could download this. Once you download this, it's going to be in your download folder, and then you could just say double click and install it. Once you've installed it, you could see it running as a service. You could see it's running as a service. So there's another Redis tiny little Redis client that I have installed, which is here, and it's available on the internet. If you go to redis.io and you see client link here, go all the way down, Java. If you say Redis client, this one, so if you go here, it's a GUI version, which is SWT library based Java client, and you can browse it your Redis server using this tiny little thing. So that would be very useful. So I recommend downloading it. Let me just show you how it looks like. So if I go to downloads, Java jar Redis client. So if you start, it looks like this, and you can connect and you can browse different nodes. For Zookeeper, it's pretty simple. We just have to unzip it. If you open the WinZip and you say extract to C drive, and that's it. It's gonna be a folder here somewhere. Zookeeper. So here we go. Zookeeper is here. One little step that we need to do after we have installed a Zookeeper is to set the configuration files, because Zookeeper will look for zoo.cfg file under the conf folder under the Zookeeper installation directory. So we need to make a copy of this file and rename it to zoo.cfg, and inside this file there is a data directory, so it will be pointing to tmp something, and you need to change it to something more appropriate, like you might want to point it to your root directory of your Zookeeper, and under that data just make sure this user has a right permission to this directory. So that is it. So now we've got Zookeeper, SpringXD, Redis installed, and SpringXD comes out of the box with HSQLDB and the shell itself. So we're good to start SpringXD in the distributed mode. We will start the command line and we will go to the SpringXD root directory. There we have the HSQLDB directory. We'll browse into that. We'll run HSQLDB server. Keep it running. We'll go command, we'll open another command line to start Zookeeper. So we'll go to the root where we've installed it. There's a command, there's a batch file called zk server.batch or cmd. We need to start this. It is going to start Zookeeper. So now we have HSQLDB running, Redis running in the background, and Zookeeper also running. So now we can start. First, what we need to do is we need to start xdadmin. So we can do that by going to xd home, and under the bin directory you have xdadmin.batch file. So we'll just start that. Once we start that, it's going to make a connection to Zookeeper. And if any of their dependencies like the Redis or Zookeepers are not running, it's going to complain it over here. So while it starts, if you see, there is a connection. Okay, so here is a connection node exists. So we have a connection established with Zookeeper. And now we'll start XD container, which is the worker node. We will go to XD home again. This is a simple XD container when we're not specifying anything like Hadoop distribution or at the moment. When we will do Hadoop ingestion, then we will be starting and specifying the Hadoop distribution node. Now we'll just start XD container by going to XD root directory, going to the bin directory, and there's a batch file called XD container. We'll just start it by just running the command, and it's going to start and connect to the XDadmin. Now we can start. The final thing that we need to start is the XD shell. So we'll open another command line, and we'll browse to XD home again. We'll go one level up. There's a shell directory here at the root. We will be browsing in that. The bin directory, and here we have shell batch file. So we'll run that. Here also we could have specified the Hadoop distribution if we were running anything to do with Hadoop, any file upload or ingestion into Hadoop. So now we've started it. We could just see if everything is up and running. So it looks like it's connected. And if we just do a sample stream, which is stream create, and we'll just say TikTok. This is the basic example, and we'll say time and say log. So if the stream is created, then we say deploy. And since now we've deployed it, it should be running in the container. And now you can see it running up in here. So this is running through Redis, and it's running in a separate container, which is a distributed mode. You could be running another container by just the same way. You could go to XD home bin and then XD container, another container. So now we have two worker processes and one master process. Okay, so now we have distributed mode up and running. You could be running distributed mode if you want to demonstrate some fault tolerance aspect of SpringXD when you probably have deployed some streams in one container and then you kill that container and workload is automatically shifted to another container. And also you could be demonstrating some of the real-time analytics stuff that is there on GitHub repository sample projects under this SpringXD project. So those projects basically demonstrate some of the real-time analytics that uses Redis as its store for keeping those counters and field value counters and aggregate counters and gauges. So yeah, so distributed mode is neat, and you can demonstrate some advanced stuff for SpringXD. So in this screencast, we demonstrated to you how to set up SpringXD in a distributed mode and how different components work together. So thank you for watching this, and stay tuned for the next episode, which will demonstrate some of the stream creation stuff and real-time analytics. Thank you.